What are we thinking? Do we have time to run walls?
Touchdown! Oh, Kenyon Drake! A miracle! Miraculous in Miami!
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
Philly special. Ready?
It's Hester trying to work it back to the middle. Gets past the first wave, and here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
What's happening? Welcome to Far From Lombardi week. What week are we on, Mark?
Just finished week 11.
Just finished week 11. Week 11. Then a recap show. How are we all? No Tony this week. I've forgotten what he's doing.
He's been a Tomhead, isn't he?
Babysitting, I think he said, which I don't think you can babysit your own kid. But
Because he's going out the weekend, he's got to do his duties.
Is that what it is? Right. Sounds well. Tony's not here because they're playing one-upmanship in their relationship.
It's if it's that, isn't it?
Yeah,
Marriage is all about.
That's where it comes from. Oh, by the way, James on the pod again, second appearance.
Yo.
This time with Mark instead of Tony. What you need to know, James, there's been a few changes since you last on the pod.
Okay.
We're not so much an NFL podcast anymore.
That's a side thing, though,
Yeah, we're now a dad's podcast.
Right, okay. No.
So we're very much fathers fathers first, fathers for justice podcast.
Well, this
now.
is good because now I've got 2 in 1 here. You can both father me.
All right. Well, we come on here to moan about our kids,
Okay.
not to get another one.
Yeah, but what the benefit of me is, I'm fully formed.
Yeah, but look, I feel like I'm parenting you already.
Sorry, there you go. Thanks, Dad.
It's okay, mate.
That was. You don't have to worry about me that much. You know, all the bullying has happened.
If you were my child, I would worry about you all of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a sort of collectible toy that once you take out the packaging, you're worried.
You lose your value.
Yeah. I lost my value from the womb.
No, I think with it just, I'd be so worried. You just roll around, just like being anxious all the time. That's what would worry me. Be like, oh, is he okay? Is a doorman going to knock him out because he hasn't apologised because he's apologised too much?
Yeah, I did do that. I'd say sorry before about like trying to find parking in Liverpool last week for a gig. I think it was about 5 different places. I was like, right, I'll stick with this one. And then just kept saying sorry. As I was going, I went to the Q Park.
Oh, made a bit of money, have you?
Someone's
loaded.
The one on the Strand.
Yeah. Liverpool one.
Yeah.
That's the first one I Googled and went, right, all the others look all right, but that looks like the most, that's the one that would stress me out least.
Yeah, but it's so expensive.
Yeah. To be fair, I had to pay £8.80.
It is the one of the out of towners using it.
Yeah. Well, like, it probably is the best car park, but then you're paying for that. So, like, I wouldn't be doing that, mate.
See, I'd go to somewhere like in Mount Pleasant one. It stinks of piss, but it's £4 all day.
See, Mount Terrified.
See, I'd just park right outside wherever it was and risk it.
Mount Terrified. No.
Mount Pleasant.
Mount terrifies me already because that sounds like it's on the top of something.
Yeah,
I have to
it's
park
at the bottom, isn't it? Really?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. It's not the summit.
The bottom of Mount Pleasant, yeah.
I don't have to like park on a hill or think about how to do that.
Oh, you don't want a hill start?
No.
I feel like you'd make a good dad to James, Mark.
Yeah, I think our anxieties might tip each other over the edge, though.
No, I think you're a bit more. Mark's less anxious. It's more OCD with Mark now.
Yeah.
So like he's not worried about it. There's no nervousness about it. He just is who he is.
Oh, okay.
I like the control aspect of it.
So
right.
So he sort of owned it. So I feel like you're going to end up like Mark.
That would be good because I don't have OCD. I'm tossing now 65 and now 77.
That'd annoy him. Like, yeah. That would fully annoy him.
I don't remember Kanye West Stronger coming out in 1995.
Mark's wound up by that already.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Maybe you would make a good dad then.
As long as the radio station stays on evens.
Yeah. But Mark's got your sort of level of like worries too much about things. Well, that's subjective, isn't it? I would say he worries too much about things, but
I've worried about
owns it now and accepts it.
I worried about this coming here because I didn't watch as many games this week as I did last.
Oh yeah,
time.
during the club we never do.
Oh okay. Brilliant.
Right.
And I was obsessively researching like cornerbacks.
Oh right.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Well, it's the week of the running back. So did you not know that?
No.
Yeah, all the running backs went off this week. Austin Eckler got 4 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor got 5.
Good lads. I don't know if there's going to be relayed back to their camps, but
I'm sure they appreciate it. We do have some NFL players paying attention to us.
Who you got on the roster?
Got Micah Parsons coming on in the off-season.
Nice. Did you do?
Well, it might be too big for us now. Like, we got him on his first 2 weeks. Now he's defensive rookie of the year. No.
Did he give you a little retweet like?
Oh, I called him out.
A fight, basically.
He offered me a fight. Called me a fat bum.
That sounds funny. Eh?
Yeah.
Like,
well, you know.
Fat bum. Nice, thanks.
Sounds like a playground.
I've got a wide arse.
Yeah.
Thanks,
No, so you know when in Hard Knocks when he was playing Connect 4.
Oh yeah.
When I had to go at him for saying shit at Connect 4, I'd smash your head in. I've never lost a game in Connect 4, which I haven't. I'm currently 68-0. So I was like, I'll take you. I'll take it anytime. And then he saw that and was like, bring it on, you fat bum.
It's on.
So I was like, so I messaged him saying, well, let's have it then. And he said, sound. So now we just need to arrange a date. So
it's the logistics of
we're gonna go for the off season sort of thing.
Are you? Is this online or like a physical?
We'll do it online in the off season.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're 68-0 on virtual Connect 4.
No, I'm 68-0 on any Connect 4.
Any Connect 4, right? Have you played Connect 4 3D?
No.
Well, it is 3D Connect 4. Sorry, but like Connect 4 3D is one where like you flip the board around, so it's on like a pivot.
Yeah.
So you could drop one at the bottom, and then the other person will flip it around, and that'll be at the top, and then they'd.
Can you flip it around?
So it's like a cube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's horrible. Don't play it. Don't know why I endorsed it really, but it's just an alternative option. If you beat him, well, you will beat him.
I will beat him. I'm 68-0.
And then you can be like, well, I've got Connect 4 3D here, mate. Yeah. At that point, you might just.
We'll see. Mika, I haven't forgot. I'm coming for you.
Is that your thing then, Connect 4? You like, if you was to beat anyone at anything?
Yeah.
It'd be Connect 4.
I've had like games for big money.
Really? Is the Connect?
There's not Connect 4 championships.
Oh,
it's basically just when I get pissed, there's a Connect 4 about. I'll tell everyone you won't beat me, and then anyone who's competitive thinks surely there's no skill involved in Connect. Like Mark, if we were pissed and I said to Mark, "You'll never beat me Connect 4," he'd go, "I bet you I will." And then if he's pissed, he'd be willing to put money on it.
Oh, okay.
That's the point.
I'm pissed. I just sucker people into bet. So like last Christmas, me and my brother were having £150 games at Connect 4. Because like, we had £50 games, and then so we had 3 £50 games, and I smashed them in all 3. And then like, but we had best of 3 £50 game. I won the first 2. Then we played the last one just for the sake of playing it. Won that one as well. And then he was adamant he was going to beat me. And then I said, I'm not playing you again because I beat you so comprehensively. And then he was like, no. I said, well, it's got to be worth my time. So 150 quid. And he was like, okay, yeah. So then I just smashed them again.
Bloody hell, your roof. I'd love to, so you got 300 quid or 150?
Well, 200 quid because 150 quid game.
That's like my car for the month, that. I'd love to have that type of money. I'd love to have disposable car money.
He hasn't got that kind of money, but I still took it. I took it off him to teach him a lesson.
Rinsed him.
At Christmas.
I'd love it if on Challenge at like 3 a.m. it was Rob Thomas's World Series of Connect 4.
Yeah.
And you were just in Vegas with your shades on.
Maybe that's what I should
clawing in red and yellow chips.
Maybe that's what I should start doing. Release a Patreon. Connect 4
yeah.
Sounds like something Dave would be interested in the channel, wouldn't it?
And then
just topless Connect 4.
You could play, and if you're watching Sky Sports NFL, you could play NFL players at Connect 4 and call it Connect 4 Down.
Connect 4 Down.
Give it a sell.
Let it breathe.
Let it sell.
It's like a fine wine. Let it breathe.
There you go.
Yeah, that's not bad. Maybe we should. That could be a little mini series for us. Connect 4, and we interview different players every week.
Perfect.
While playing Connect 4, and we'll see if one eventually. Then it comes to Tom Brady, and then we just play for like 20 years until eventually I give in and go, all right, Tom, you can win.
He can't deflate. He can't deflate Connect 4 chips. He's just got one. He's got one big one. He's sellotaped together, and he just drops in.
He's got a multicolored one. Who's like that can be like a wild. That's a wild that one, mate.
I still laughed at you. Think he's a nonce.
He is a nonce. Oh, can we discuss this? Further proof came out on Monday night that Tom did it not, Mark.
You've seen the video? Kissing his kids on the lips, isn't it?
No, it's all stemmed because the fact that he's a nonce. But didn't it come out Monday night? So have you seen any clips?
I haven't seen anything from Monday.
No, all I know of it is...
You've seen that, like, the Mannings do a Monday night football.
Oh, the Manning
things.
cast.
Yeah. Well, Edelman was on that, and Edelman was talking about what Tom Brady and Gronkowski would be saying to each other, and he said "babe" about 8 times, and Peyton Manning went, "There's a lot of babes in there." He said, "Oh yeah, Tom's a big babe man, says babe a lot." I was like, well, that's just further proof he's a fucking
his
nonce.
wife's a model. I reckon that's the type of language he'd use.
Yeah, like,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then he's going to go into a locker room and use it with fully grown 300-pound men.
I imagine he's probably
I'll get you next time, babe. To Rob
Gronk.
Gronkowski, like, fuck off. He's a nonce.
Plus, he's slapping a lot of
He's like Jimmy Savile. He's putting it in our face, and we're choosing to ignore it.
That would be like, that's the equivalent. That would be if that came out.
Well,
it'd be
Why are you
rocked.
putting Jimmy Savile on that pedestal that Tom Brady's
It would
on,
be
aren't
like...
Well, he was massive. Oh, come on.
That would be... that would destroy America if that came out.
I think it would polarise. I think half would be made up and half wouldn't he?
Half be made, yeah.
Everyone probably every outside Boston and Tampa, really.
Everyone in Boston would be like...
Yeah.
And then he's got that one guy who goes, "No, I still stand by him." No, but there's mounting evidence here. Nope. 7 rings.
You'd have the devil's advocate ones going.
Yeah.
You've got to separate the art from the art from the artist. You've got to separate the art from the artist.
It's early work, great.
Oh. Right. Any news, Mark?
Yeah, this little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
No?
It's the Saints are basically money laundering again.
Oh, I've missed this.
So,
no, I haven't.
Right, so Taysom Hill signed another contract.
Yeah, another contract.
Right, I had to screenshot how it's worked because it's confusing how it's worked. So last year when he signed a contract, it was like half it was void if so and so. So it was made out to be like a $50 million contract, wasn't it? But in reality terms, it was only $7 million or whatever.
Yeah,
but he's still getting paid more than Jameis Winston.
Right.
Yeah.
So Hill and the Saints have agreed to a contract extension for 4 years and $40 million, with $22.5 million guaranteed for injury and $20 million fully guaranteed. Hill received $10 million each season, so that's his flat base salary. Over the
you can't receive $10 million each season if it's $20 million fully guaranteed.
But this is where I'm getting confused. It's just like, so this, I'm only reading this off the NFL app.
Yeah.
Over the next, and as upsides and incentives if he ever becomes the Saints starting quarterback. So basically, they are guaranteeing themselves, depending on what your role in the team is, you will earn X amount of money.
Yeah, from what I've read, it starts at 40.
Yeah.
Assuming he stays the same role that he's in now. And if he becomes the starter, it goes to 75.
Yeah. It's a weird contract.
Yeah.
And
but then, like he just said, only 20 million of it's fully guaranteed.
Yeah. So it just feels like another non-entity type of thing contract.
So weird.
There's a few ones. Dallas Goedert just signed a new contract with the Eagles.
Yeah. Cortland Sutton as well.
Yeah. So Dallas Goedert is 4 years, $59 million, 35 of which is guaranteed. Tonight, Jason Garrett's just been fired at the Giants OC.
Oh yeah, I saw that today.
Oh, Jason Garrett's been fired
as the OC at the Giants, after last night. Yeah. Oh. A little sad one. I was quite gutted, but Philip Lindsay's just been cut by the Texans. I had a little soft spot for Philip Lindsay. Yeah. He just never got a look into the Texans' backfield was chocker.
Well, they had Ingram, Johnson. Who else they got now?
Rex Burkhead.
He's doing quite well, Burkhead. They're not really playing to his style of Philip Lindsay. I'd love the Chiefs to pick him up.
I always had a little soft spot for him where he was like a undrafted free agent and he went for 1,000 yards his first season with Denver.
Yeah.
And it just feels a little bit of a sad one. And I think maybe he's just a victim of what's going on in the Texans at the moment. And I don't know if we covered this one last week, was Antonio Brown's COVID.
No, that was after last week.
Fake certification. Apparently his chef has come out and said he basically got a fake COVID test.
Yeah, so he had a living chef who he apparently didn't pay for a while.
He's at the Raiders.
So now the chef has come out and said, "Is COVID thing's fake? I got him it." Sort of thing, and he paid me $500.
It seems to have gone under the radar compared to,
because Tampa Bay come out straight away and went, "It's not." As in, like, Tampa Bay come out literally the next day and was like, "We've checked it.
Yeah,
it's not fake."
Right. Okay. So that's why it's a non-story then. Basically, we haven't heard much of it.
Chef. My mum would have to come out and make that statement. Not a chef. Or she, well.
Do you reckon your mum would grass you up, yeah?
Probably, yeah.
Oh.
Or my dad.
Oh.
You wouldn't, though, I don't think.
Of course not.
You'd
Never grass you up, James.
take him under my wing.
Yeah.
Throw in.
I'd have got you the fake
Yeah,
COVID
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
People are already asking me for them.
Wonder if Chef did what like the kids are doing in school, where they've been putting lemon.
Yeah, lemon and orange juice, anything citrusy.
Yeah.
Is that a true thing, or is that just
Yeah.
like a
Anything citrusy makes it come up like pretend like looks like you got COVID.
really?
Yeah.
And it'll be, and if he did do that, I'd check out because they're not meant to have like citrusy fruits, are they? Because it's like bad for you.
Is it?
Like sugar, yeah, and like lemon.
It's like tomatoes are meant to be really bad for inflammation, aren't they? That's why everyone bans tomato ketchup.
Didn't know that.
I mean, that's not why Antonio Brown is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the man is fucking mad. But
This is where the story stuck, I think.
Yeah,
Everyone was
surprised.
everyone just right. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that about Antonio Brown and all the things he's done. That's not the worst. So yeah, go for it. Oh,
Jason Garrett though, poor guy.
I think he's been a bit of a patsy.
no, I think. Yeah. Do you think he's been a patsy? Do you?
Yeah, well, the reason was obviously he got the running game running in Dallas when he was at Dallas as the head coach. He sort of
Did
brought
he or did
well,
Zeke do that?
how much of it was Zeke and how much of it was Jason?
Because you look at that running game now and you're like,
well,
actually,
they've lost obviously. Barkley's been in and out the team.
Yeah.
Injuries. The offensive line hasn't worked out, and I think that the Giants full stop have had
he's been getting slated for a while. though. That Jason Garrett's been getting like, I reckon for a good 3 or 4 months, people since the start of the season, people have been saying the Giants play the same 4 plays constantly. Like,
Do you know who favourite is to come in as an OC?
no,
Freddie Kitchens, the Browns sort of head coach.
why though? I just don't get this.
It's like the
It's
merry-go-round,
just a
isn't it?
fucking old
Yeah.
boys club,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
It's like fucking, what's going on there?
You wouldn't leave the Browns, would you? Well,
He's not the Browns.
He left
The old Browns head coach, the one that,
yeah.
the one that got the head coaching job before he was even an OC.
Right.
So Baker basically
Because
said,
Baker said I want him, and then
head
Baker
coach.
fell out with him straight away.
Because Baker's Baker,
And then,
which
yeah,
we'll go
and
into
then
more.
Yeah, you hate Baker Mayfield. Don't you?
Faker Mayfield, I do, yeah. Fucking Emperor's New Clothes, mate.
Yeah.
Um,
What's next? What do you reckon he'll do then? Like,
Jason Garrett.
yeah.
Like I say, it's an old boys club. He'll find himself on a staff somewhere, and then if he does well, he'll work his way back up. But he wasn't doing well to the Giants. It's weird because, like, you see all these young lads, and you think, oh, good, there's going to be a turn of sort of like a turn of faces, a turn of names, and then the likes of Jason Garrett's getting Freddie Kitchens getting a job again. You're just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because, like, the whole Kellen Moore at Cowboys, you're thinking, that's exciting. And there's talk of, like, Cowboys like him so much that they're scared to lose him.
That's why they made him.
So that they'd be willing to get rid of Mike McCarthy,
to keep Kellen Moore.
keep Kellen Moore, to be willing to like sack the head coach who's doing really well this year, just to keep the OC, just to give him the job so they can keep him because they're scared of someone coming in and give him a head coaching role sort of thing. So you see stuff like that and you think that's fucking exciting. Like feel a bit disappointed. I quite like Mike McCarthy. I don't know why. I think because I hate Aaron Rodgers. I like Mike McCarthy. You know, you just pick a side. So like the enemy of my enemy. So yeah. So then like, but then you see stuff like that and you think then you see stuff like Freddie Kitchens getting a job again. And you're like, why? How can Eric Bieniemy not get a head coaching role? But then these same like 4 or 5 cunts keep getting major jobs. Yeah. Now I know Eric Bieniemy's not going to go leave the Chiefs OC to come on Giants OC, but you're just like, at some point you've got to like change things up. This is why the Giants are always shite. Einstein's definition of insanity, innit? You do the same thing over and over again, expect different results. The Giants are doing that.
I always find it weird when like a college, I don't know if it's a completely different game, but like a college coach ends up managing. Like didn't Nick Saban go to Miami?
Yeah,
like
a
a year
failed.
and was like, and then just is now.
Look at Urban Meyer, the
pissing.
Jags.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Yeah.
thing with college coaches, and we're not obviously massive experts with college, but where college coaches, they've always got it over the players as we control your destiny.
Yeah, well, that's what I always think.
You
It's
have
that
to
level of
perform,
power.
you have to toe the line because I'll cut you. And your path to the NFL is massively sort of.
I always think I would never leave a college job because I'm a control
well
freak.
paid as well, just as well paid as.
That's what I mean.
NFL
That's why
coaches.
I'd never leave one because I'm a control freak, and it's just being able to say to a player, "No, I own you," basically, because like I'll just cut you and you won't get another program. Yeah. Whereas you say to a player who's got guaranteed $20 million, I'll just cut you, and he's like, "So how do I get $20 million?
Exactly,
I go and play for someone else." Like, whereas in college it doesn't tend to happen, sort of thing. So like,
that's always makes me like I can't watch human, well, not embarrassment, but like live cringe stuff. Like I know I am a bit of like a cringe magnet,
yeah,
merchant. But anything like Hard Knocks, where it's like the practice squad are coming in to announce if they're going to make it for the season, and then the coach has to sit them down and be like, "Sorry, mate, you know, I can't. I have to fast forward past that."
Tangent. You know, when you just said, "Oh, Hard Knocks," my most cringiest moment, Hard Knocks, is the knock on wood thing with John Gruden.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know?
No.
So do you watch the Raiders one when just before they moved to Vegas?
Yeah.
If you agree, knock on wood if you agree. Like,
Yeah.
That was
the coaching
the
meetings.
summer before they moved to Raiders. Anyway, whatever it was, but it was knock on wood if you believe with me, and it was just the most cringe.
Knock on wood if you with me.
He's a. I'm good. Yeah.
Less said about it.
Yeah.
Anyone been watching the new Hard Knocks? The first mid-season one.
Is that the Colts one? Is it?
Colts one, yeah.
I haven't watched any of it.
I haven't watched any of it. I'm looking forward to it, but I like the fact that so midweek, I don't know if you saw the clip midweek of the OC telling who's their head coach? Frank Reich. So the OC says to Frank Reich that Jonathan Taylor said, "We've got a talent. Like this lad is a talent." Like I told him, like you are. He said you're incredible. He says for me he's a top 5 offensive weapon. Like not top 5 running back, top 5 offensive weapon in the league. Like that's what he's saying to Frank Reich. And then he says that, and then so obviously that's come out, and it's probably a couple of weeks old, sort of thing, if not like 5 or 6 weeks old. And then he asked Jonathan Taylor about it, and he goes, "Seeing that, I just love it because I seeing that makes me want to go out and prove myself even more, sort of thing, to prove them right for believing in me." And the Sunday scores 5 touchdowns.
After that game, you know when they do all the game balls, don't they? You know, the players give Frank Reich one of the game balls.
Do they?
Yeah, after when they're in the dressing room.
Good team to do like a mid-season one on as well. I think
it is, especially the way they've had
their arc has been
bad
brilliant.
start and then gone up and up and up. Right, should we get into the games then?
Yeah.
Thursday night, Pats 25, Falcons a big fat 0. And do you watch this game?
Seen the extended highlights, the game of 40.
Yeah, I've seen the game 40 myself. I think flattered the Pats a little bit. I think Pats had control.
The Pats are the Pats, aren't they? They'll do this all the time.
Yeah, Pats had control early. Falcons didn't really look threatening, and then just nothing happened. Basically, eventually they scored more points in like garbage time. But
Pats again, a stronger defensive line, stronger defensive line. Look good in the secondary. Everything else comes after that, so they can run the ball brilliant. They've got a quarterback who will just manage the game.
Yeah, watching this game now. So I've been saying Pats are back for a while now, and I don't like it. Like I've got a thing. I don't like talking about the Pats really.
Can we just smile on that?
Because I think they're back, and I think if we talk about because I hate them so much. Us talking about them is like when your girlfriend leaves you and gets with a new boyfriend, but you have the same sort of friendship group. So then everyone's like, "Oh, I met so and so's boyfriend," and you're like, "Yeah, well, and okay, you don't need to tell me about it. He was dead nice though, you know." And you're like, well, I don't need to know. We don't need to talk about this. But so I don't like talking about the Pats.
No, I don't. Or the Packers.
Yeah.
One of our old co-hosts looked like he's going to owe me a few bob, isn't he?
Oh, Tom. Yeah, Tom, one of the was a regular on here since he moved to Chester. He hasn't really been. We haven't seen him much. Not sure since he moved to Chester or since he had a second child. It's one of the two.
Yeah. He was so adamant the Pats were finished pre-season. So I said, okay, well, I'd fancy the Pats just to bounce back. So I said, well, give me what odds will you give me the Pats to win the AFC East? And he said, I'll give you 5-1.
Yeah. So Mark was back in the Pats early doors. I've said for a few weeks now they're back. It's upsetting. But watching games like this actually makes me think they're not fully back.
I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl.
That's what I mean. I don't think they're that. Because I think people are talking them up for Super Bowl chances. I think they'll get the playoffs and get smashed by a decent offense. Yeah. Like I think...
Play Vikings next week, so... not Vikings. What the fuck was Titans next week.
Yeah, banged up Titans. But the Titans come off of what happened to Texans. I probably fancy them to beat the Titans. I do, but what I don't fancy them to beat is like a Bills or someone like that.
Still got to play them twice.
Yeah. Bears 13, Ravens 16. Lamar Jackson went out.
This was a shit game. This was awful game, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Justin Fields started for the Bears, then got replaced by Andy Dalton. Apparently Justin Fields was he injured?
Yeah, whether Matt Nagy's just one of the worst managers, and he doesn't know how to deal with interviews. Like the interview afterwards, so someone asked him because of Dalton come in again. Someone had said
Dalton played well. He looked decent with Dalton.
Someone said to him, "So who's the starting quarterback?" And instead of him saying injury permitting, it's still Fields.
Yeah,
he turned around and went, "Well, we'll have to see."
Well, he's announced Dalton starting on Sunday.
It's just he obviously was at the Chiefs, weren't he, with you?
Yeah.
So what I don't understand is why these players don't learn from how press conference work. You're not new to it. You're not thrown into it. You've seen from afar how these things work, and his skills in that aspect.
Part of you thinks, what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
Like, even by saying that, what are you trying to achieve? Like, sometimes, like, coaches or managers will use press conferences to have subtle digs at the players without having to have to call them in, sort of thing. Because I think the idea behind it is the player sees that, sort of knows about them, but doesn't really know, so isn't sort of kicking off. But then it's a subtle sort of way of going, right, improve, and then they'll go and improve, sort of thing. Or they won't improve. The manager knows what he's got to look at. Whereas if he calls them into his office, every other player knows he's called into his office, then it makes it sort of singles him out. It's a way of like speaking to him without singling him out. But with stuff like that, it's so sort of like, you're only talking about one person, and what are you aiming to achieve by going, oh, we don't know. Like, so why don't we know? Like, what has Justin Fields got to do between now and Sunday to not be the starter, sort of thing? And I don't know.
Proper transparent, hasn't got a clue, is it? It's like, even as like a Jets fan, when I think like 1-5, and Michael Carter came out and was like, "No, we're gonna find the strength somewhere to build a run." Like, mate, you don't need to say that. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, it's not fine.
I don't know. You can start. I think with the Jets, you're starting to see something soon. Like just a little start, and what they're starting to build on. We'll talk about that in a minute. Ravens though, Lamar Jackson was out. Is it Tyler Huntley?
Brett Huntley, isn't it? I always thought it was Brett Huntley.
Isn't right?
Apparently got sold on the bus.
Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know till the day.
So this illness, whatever it wasn't COVID or flu.
Yeah,
it was just fucking stomach bug or whatever.
Shits,
basically, it went through a few of the players. Obviously, Rashad Bateman had the receiver. Lamar basically texted him on the way there and said, like, basically, you're going to be starting today.
That's like when you get to you're like, don't want to make like a stand-up analogy, but like the last minute gig.
Yeah,
you come at game in 5 minutes, and you're like,
I can. Well, he went there and he's done well. He's going to get some paid work now out of it.
Yeah,
so good for him that he was free, because
he beat the gong, beat the skull,
just about. Yeah, Ravens not really missing a beat. Bears defense started well in this. Ravens didn't look great, but without Lamar Jackson, such a massive weapon, the fact he come out with a win, the Bears would be like fucking made.
Well, it's on this.
Ravens be made.
They lost Khalil Mack out for the season, though, when he.
That was before the game, yeah.
Roquan Smith, the linebackers. It's the first time I've seen him close up, in a proper game. Yeah. He is fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Especially in this game. Obviously, you knew it anyway, but it's different when you actually watch it.
Yeah, well, the Bears have still got a good defense. I think that's what's most upsetting thing about the Bears. And like, we've got a mate who's a Bears fan as well. Cause they've still got a good defense, they're still competing in most games.
They're not embarrassed, are they, in most games?
No. So that's why Matt Nagy's still always there, because there's still always that idea that, after that first season, when he was coach of the year, he may be able to turn it around,
Yeah.
And then, but at the stadium, they were singing Nagy out.
Really?
Yeah, which is
never heard that in the NFL
uncommon
before.
For the NFL, like, sort of thing. So it's like a big statement. They're actually chanting Nagy out. So I can't see him lasting much longer, especially with the fact that it's only the Raiders. Is the Raiders? No one else has lost the head coach out there this year.
No,
so just Raiders. So I wouldn't surprise me the Bears think, you know what, fuck it, let's get a march in everyone. I think the problem is when the Bears are out the playoffs officially, that's probably when they'll sack him.
When's Black Monday?
Black Monday's the first Monday after the end of the season.
Is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Right.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they try and get a march on people now. Because, like, they'd be the kind of people that got a new quarterback, go and get that Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Like, they're the kind of one that would look at him and go, let's go and get him. And you want to try and get there first. Imagine. Fucking hell. Vikings 34, Packers 31. Go on, let you go first, or do you go first? Anyone want?
I've got a little soft spot for the Vikes.
Have you?
Yeah. And anyone over Green Bay.
Do you not like Green Bay?
No.
I've got a soft spot for the Vikings, except I can't stand Kirk Cousins.
But do you not like him?
So I hope they crash and burn.
Oh, I love Kirk Cousins.
I hate him enough that it takes over my soft spot for the Vikings. Yeah,
I like him. He's performed better as a player this season than people give him credit for.
Oh, he hasn't though.
No, he has. he's above the median. I think the median as a
I
quarterback.
know. I think you say that, and then they're playing someone shite next week. They'll get smashed by it.
I understand your hate for him because I can't stand the God Squad stuff. Just leave it out of football.
It's the God Squad. It's the fucking
the bubble.
The fact that
over the bubble thing.
The fact that the Vikings will win a game like this and then lose fucking a game against someone shit, and he'll have played well in this game, but nothing. It won't be him who's won the game, and that's what annoys me about him. He never wins the game. It's never Kirk Cousins has put the team on the back and won the game. It's they beat the Packers, and everyone thinks, well, actually, maybe we don't need a star quarterback. Maybe we don't need someone like that. We can get by with Kirk Cousins, and then he'll lose them a game next week. And it's like that. That's just what you get from him constantly.
Some of the throws he makes, he's been making recently when they've let him throw it.
Yeah, when you
run first.
When you're throwing to Jefferson and Thielen.
I like Thielen.
They're both brilliant. But this is another thing about the Vikings, though. They just scraped through this game. They were smashing the Packers, and the Packers got right back into it. And they let them get right back into it, and then the Vikings just managed to squeeze through.
He's another one who's in that line of like Matt Stafford is obviously like leagues above him, but then he's not he's not too low where he's like a Blaine Gabbert or a Chad Henne. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not.
Yes, well they're both secondary though, aren't they? So like,
I think he's
a starter.
Do you think he's the Dalton line now?
No, I take it this way, right? If you're the Browns, would you rather have Cousins or Baker Mayfield?
On current form, Cousins.
Yeah, but if someone said to you, you can have Cousins, Baker, or go for someone again?
Cousins.
You'd take Cousins.
Because
so you wouldn't see that if I'm the Browns, I'd go for somebody.
See, I think everything.
I'd rather take the risk of getting a better ceiling than settling for either of them two.
But you might
because I think they're exactly the same.
You might get a lower floor though.
Of course you might, but I think it's a risk worth taking because you've seen the floor. I think Baker and Cousins are similar, and
I mean, we're going to get onto the Browns in a minute, but
yeah,
we'll talk about that in a minute.
I think Packers were unlucky here, but I think this has been coming for the Packers. We talked about this last week. They were the number one seed in the NFC for a couple of weeks, and I think we said they're not passing. Well, you and Tony, was it you as well, or just Tony? Tony who was saying it doesn't matter if they're not passing the eye test sort of thing, that they're not playing well, they're still getting games done. Yeah, and I think that's what matters. Whereas I was saying, because they're not playing well, I think they're going to come into trouble.
I think Green Bay, once they get to the postseason, they've got the left tackle to come back soon, Bakhtiari.
Yeah, they just lost the right tackle.
Yeah, but Bakhtiari's like top 5 left tackle.
Yeah.
They've got the edge rusher Zadarius Smith to come back.
Yeah.
And they've got the corner, and I can't think of his life of me who he is.
King.
No, the other one.
Jazia, isn't no Jazia King.
Alexander
Jazia.
Jazia Alexander.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's got to come back as well. So I think they've got 3 big players to come back soon in the next few weeks, which, if they can get by to them, which, I mean, I think they're near enough nailed on to be the top seed in the NFC at the moment anyway. I
don't know, Cardinals are still hanging in there without Kyler Murray and Hopkins. Bills 15, Colts 41. I think me and Tony called this.
I think you might have done.
Yeah. We got it. I like the Colts. I like Carson Wentz. Yeah. I don't like the Colts. So you know the way I like the Vikings, but I don't like Cousins. Yeah. I don't like the Colts, but I like Carson Wentz.
Right.
So I've sort of backed Carson Wentz this year, and Jonathan Taylor's proven me right.
The Colts have now realised where the strength of their team lies. It's not. It's not through Carson Wentz. It's through that offensive line, and you've got a quality running back behind it. So
top quality, by the way.
Top quality. So, and you put that behind that offensive line as well.
Yeah,
they're going to make holes.
Unbelievable. Yeah. But they're getting the job done, and they're now is that 2 games behind the Titans now, and they've got
Can they catch them though? I think they've played the Titans twice now.
Yeah, they played them twice. I think did they beat them? No, they lost them twice. I think. But the Titans got beat by Texans, and then got the Patriots next. Colts got to be thinking to themselves, because this is one of the games where everyone thought, well, there's the Colts getting beat, and they've absolutely battered the Bills.
They always say
and we've said they're getting stronger. As they get healthier, they're getting stronger.
They always say about the teams who are getting the form at the back end of the season, they're the ones to look out for, aren't they?
Yeah.
Who've the Bills got next?
We'll have to check in a bit.
I think this is a bit of a. I think they'll smooth out, and I think, like I said earlier, the Pats will get found out over the next. I think the Titans will win. The Bills will end up finishing because they're for the top of the AFC.
The Pats have got to play the Bills twice, Titans, They've got to play it's got to be someone of the NFC South teams as well. I can't remember who. Could be the Saints, I think, maybe.
The Pats got to play.
Yeah. So they've
got to play the Saints.
They've got winnable games, but again,
I only know the Chiefs remain on fixtures.
Just someone other than the Pats to win the AFC. Again, please.
I don't think the Pats. I think Chiefs and Pats on the same record now. I don't think Chiefs lose another game, so they're very much going to have a chance. It's just who the Titans got left. Colts, like I say, getting healthier. They're my ones to look out for, which is unfortunate because I think
it's the Bills.
I backed against them to get to the championship game just because I like gambling.
Is the Bills downturn in form surprise anyone?
I don't think it's a downturn in form. Right? I think what's happened was there's too much hype around the Bills at the start of the season. The same as the Chiefs' demise. Then the Bills were like uprise, or the new Chiefs. The you can't stop offense. It's always been very obvious where the Bills' weaknesses are. Can't stop the run, and if you can get Josh Allen and force him to try and throw on the run and you stop him running, then you got a chance against the Bills, and Colts were perfect for doing that sort of thing.
The way the NFL's worked, the schedules make teams seem better than what they are. Obviously,
schedule's huge.
So maybe obviously the Bills.
Some of that summer schedule does my head in as well. Because the Chiefs last week, 2 weeks ago. Remember we were talking again. I know I'm bringing it back to Chiefs, but the team are no inside out. Everyone was saying the Chiefs are struggling, and they're only playing teams now with a winning record. Yeah. And then when you look at what them teams are, it's the Raiders, the Broncos twice, the Steelers. It's like, well, actually, they're not the kind of teams you really are worried about. They just got a winning record. Doesn't mean like they're anything. So the strength of schedule, like you say, sometimes it makes some teams.
That's what I'm saying. You take it with a pinch of salt sometimes.
Yeah. It'd be interesting though. Like I think the AFC is wide open. I think it's something to look forward to. I think Titans top spot now with 8-3. Browns 13, Lions 10. Browns scraping by the Lions.
Good job, Chubb was back in it basically.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Baker Mayfield, obviously, as I've said many times, the pod is shite. But as I've said many times, the pod as well, the Browns are the best team I've seen play the Chiefs this year, and they just haven't been this. And they're just something.
Just a team I want to do like really well, and I really root for the whole ethos. But
Mark really likes the Browns. Like
since the Hard Knock season, it was just like you get whipped up in it.
I think as well, part of the fact they've been so shit for so long, what you want to see them do well.
Yeah, 100%.
Baker Mayfield's going into his 5th year next year.
Yeah.
They haven't tied him down, so they've seen the Bills tie down Josh Allen. They've seen the Ravens tie down Lamar Jackson. Obviously, the other two have passed away now. Obviously, Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
So he's the final one now, then 5 QBs after the draft class.
Yeah.
The Browns have probably been quite clever. They waited. So the gamble is, if he has a stellar season this season, they're giving him a massive contract. If he would have had going into the season.
What they've got now
so
is
they want to see the real Baker Mayfield.
But they took his 5th-year option, haven't they?
Yeah.
So he's got next year's 5th-year option, himself. And then they've got 2 franchise tags.
Would he do it though? Because then it goes ridiculous.
What I think they're doing is seeing what's available out there. Because I think, as I just said about Cousins, sort of thing, they know what they've got. Like you just said, you would take Cousins because you know what floor you've got, you know what ceiling you've got. I think what the Browns are doing. It wouldn't surprise me if in the off season, if say that the Deshaun Watson or the shit goes away. Well, if it ever does, say that went away. It wouldn't surprise me if someone like them going for Deshaun Watson, because they don't need 1st-round picks anymore because the team's already there.
There's a few QBs on the market potentially in the summer.
Rodgers as well.
Yeah,
Rodgers would go to the Browns. So
what did they get in return for the Odell?
Nothing. He cut him.
Oh, okay. And then he signed him. Right, okay. So then you've even got that to like fill as well, haven't you? I mean,
there was an agreement when they cut him. Basically, they wouldn't owe him any salary.
Yeah.
So so basically a part of the wage. You know what I mean? Odell must have had it lined up to go to the Rams. It must be in the pipeline.
Right. Okay.
But I've said about the Browns as well. I think the Browns would be a twice a good team if they had Giants called Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Jones would shine the Browns.
No, I'm starting to come more around to the idea that you've said about Baker is his ego. He needs to leave his ego on the side and understand where the strength of that team lies.
Yeah.
Hand it off 60% of the time to Chubb and Hunt.
But this is the thing, though. I think they do that, but then they do it for so long, and then it's always got to come. Like I fucking hate them. It's always got to come back to Baker. So they'll have 2 games where they look incredible by handing the ball off, and it's like Baker goes. Like same with Rodgers. Rodgers, if Aaron Jones has a 3 touchdown game, you know that next week that ball, not Aaron Jones is not seeing that ball.
So
because Rodgers will be like, no, just remind everyone I'm here as well. I think Baker tries to do the same, except he's shit. Yeah.
So they made a good point in the PFF podcast. This morning I was listening to. So he's playing through injuries this season, which is fine, but that can't be an excuse because if you're saying you're fit enough to play on the field, you fit. You get the injuries of his torn labrum, which is a shoulder injury, and a few other niggle injuries, can't be an excuse. You're again, if it's the ego which is saying to you, I'm fit to play.
Did we not have this last week with Russell Wilson?
Yeah, take yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Absolute cunt. Like,
so they've got a capable QB2 in Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Who Kevin Stefanski knows.
Yeah.
From his time with the Vikings. Just put him in and take your ego away from you. Say, I'll go and get myself fit. Then, but if you're not, don't turn around and say, I'm playing poor.
Does that make Stefanski look weak?
I don't know. It's a funny one, isn't it?
Because you look at the Seahawks now. So we had last week we discussed Russell Wilson, and I said he's a prick. Because what no, because what? No, there's a running theme like. No, but I said the reason he's a prick was because. So did you see last week when he got cleared for injury? He'd spent like 6 weeks making a documentary about his injury. He filmed himself getting the all clear off the doctor and put it out on his social media.
About a finger.
Yeah, about getting the metal bar taken off his finger. He filmed that and put it on social media. He forced the Seahawks to play him. He made it untenable to like, I've told everyone I'm fit.
Yeah.
So if you don't play me, they're gonna think there's something wrong with me. So he's put Phil Carroll and the Seahawks in a position where it's like, is it not Phil Carroll? Pete Carroll.
You're awful.
Oh,
names, you know.
That was one of my close ones. That one. He's put
CFL.
He's put Pete Carroll and the Seahawks in a terrible position where they can't. If Pete Carroll then goes, no, we're going to sit you and let you get fit, then it contradicts everything he's put out because he's put him out saying I've been working 18-hour days, rehab me finger. And then
all shit for the start.
All the news.
What are you doing for 18 hours? Rehabbing your finger? It's a fucking finger injury.
Yeah. That's it. All the news though has gone on going, look at Russell Wilson, look how dedicated he is, 18 hours. It's like, you put your coach in such a position now where he can't not play. And Baker Mayfield does the same thing. Baker Mayfield's like, yeah, I've got torn labrum, but I'm playing on. I've told the coach I'm playing. And it's like, you've put him in such a position that he's either got to go against you and go against his sort of squad or people who are backing you and go against the fans to drop you, or he's got to play you, and then this happens, and you've cost your team.
Well, that's it's the good thing about that is that can't go on, like that'll reach a boiling point, which is why it's a good thing that maybe they haven't tied him down.
Yeah,
to be like, well, if this happens, this carries on up until like playoffs.
Before the
we
season,
can't have that in the locker room.
We had to do like some sort of like predictions for how the season would end.
Yeah.
So one of mine was, because I had the NFC West, was one of either Russell Wilson or Pete Carroll goes at the end of the season, and I'm thinking it's more and more likely that Pete Carroll's probably gone.
It's looking like Pete Carroll, but
yeah.
You know, when you're just saying that about quarterbacks, though, do you not think the ego is both their strength and a weakness? So we've just talked about Aaron Rodgers a minute ago. You've just talked about Baker Mayfield. Now you're talking about Russell Wilson, and the ego is I am the thing. So that whole point of being able to tell the team on these shoulders, you've got to have an ego. Look at Sam Darnold. He looks at meek, and he looks like he wouldn't say.
Yeah, but then you look at Brady.
He's got an ego. He's got an ego to the point. There is an ego there.
Brady's ego is winning. Yeah, that's the only thing he's asked
it's
about.
It's still ego though, and
that's but that's what I mean. But his ego is winning.
Yeah,
Drew Brees doesn't strike me as someone who has an ego, and he's got.
I think Drew Brees has an ego.
You reckon?
I think he'd have to have an ego to come out and say what he said. The whole Black Lives Matter and the flags thing.
But he put to
even say that, because what he said wasn't even that bad. But to even come out and say that and go against the rest of your roster, you have to have an ego of going, well, I haven't listened to anyone.
I think he didn't know. It wasn't that he wasn't listening, because he did listen to me come out in
the listen eventually. But to come out and say that, to come out and say that without speaking to them first, to me shows an ego.
He didn't temperature test. You know, he didn't sense the mood of the changing room.
Yeah, which to me shows an ego, because it means you're not in touch with the rest of the locker room.
So you wouldn't say it'd be like a bit, not virtue-y, but like he felt it was like, I'm going to do this, but was like just maybe ignorant towards.
Yeah, I don't think he felt, I can say what I like because I'm Drew Brees sort of thing, and he hasn't. And then when they've gone back and there's players have like accosted him about it, he's probably gone, Sorry, I didn't think it through. Like caution footy because you got arrogant, which, like you said, I do think every quarterback needs that level of arrogance. Like every quarterback needs to do it and needs to have it, but it's the way it's channeled. Like I say, with Rodgers, as we just said, then if Aaron Jones gets 3 touchdowns a game, you can almost guarantee.
We should say that a while ago, didn't we?
Like I said last year, like you can almost guarantee he's not getting the ball the next week. But that harms the team. With Brady, Brady doesn't care. Brady's all about winning, and that's it. And the problem is, too many players' egos are wrapped up in themselves rather than the likes of. I think with Brady's his ego wrapped up in legacy, isn't it? His ego is all about he wants every record and he wants every trophy, and that's even why he plays on so much.
Because the records.
I think part of it's the records, because I think that's why he plays on. So I think he wants the records. And he plays on so much because he knows he's not going to get them unless he plays on. Because beating Peyton Manning for yards and Drew Brees for yards, he's had to play an extra 4 years than them just to fucking get near them, sort of thing. So I think some of it is like the, but to me that ego is channeled in all the right way, and some people it's not, sort of thing. Like
maybe do that next week. One of the questions if you ever get round to back.
Yeah, one of the philosophical questions, sort of thing. Yeah, speaking of egos, Carolina Panthers 21.
Right, so
Washington 27.
Cam Newton is he's a fantasy relevant quarterback now. He is not a NFL relevant quarterback for me. Now,
you watched the game, I never saw. I only saw the good things. So
he's dangerous when he's got the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
He's always going to have the power. He's a big lad. His accuracy was never fantastic.
No.
His arm strength is probably letting him down a little bit now.
Right, so what used to be good about Cam, because someone actually messaged me and asked me about this, asked me about what's the significance of Cam coming back, and why is it how good was he? Someone actually messaged saying, how good was Cam? What's the significance of him coming back? Why is it such a big thing? And I said, well, he said, can you link it to something I'd understand, maybe football sort of thing? And I said, well, Cam at his peak was a lot like Ronaldo in the fact that he changed the game. He was a one-man wrecking ball. He was a one-man team, and he was brilliant. And now he's come back. So now coming back to the Panthers and come back to the game, just like Ronaldo at United, you now have a problem of, well, will him being there have to change the way they play completely, ruin the system, and then lose the unity that they had to try and accommodate him? So I think that's what you get with Panthers. What used to be good about Cam, just to explain to everyone, he was always incredible at running, as we know. He still pretty much is. So he's built like a
linebacker,
built like Derek Henry, isn't he? He's massive. He always had a big arm. So his short accuracy was always shite. But the fact that he could throw it 50 yards always benefited him, because it meant that teams, when they played short against them, were playing against him because he could run them yards, and then he could throw it over the top. But in later years, now he's having to play it short. The accuracy's not there at all, you're saying.
So I'll speak a little about Carolina for us speak about Washington. So I think his presence on the team, not as a player, but just as a person, a personality, regardless of whether you like him or dislike him, it's still, you've got to have a presence, as we just spoke about, and the ego. Sam Darnold doesn't have one, and I think that's probably part of the reason why he didn't. The motivation aspect of the team, you can see how the players.
That's why he gets to him so quick. Yeah,
he already. DJ Moore's been quite quiet this season. This game, he was involved a lot more.
Right.
CMC, look, you asked him a question. Was he quiet? He was quiet until that point, and then all of a sudden he was catching passes. He was getting the ball more. The Carolina defense didn't look as good as what it has been in the past few weeks, neither. It's been lauded a bit.
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke had probably the best game, probably his best game since Tampa Bay in the playoffs last season for us. Although I still think he holds the ball far too long, far too fucking long, and it's an injury waiting to happen. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Terry McLaurin, I said it in our group the other day, he is pound for pound the best receiver in the league. Now, what I meant by that was you put him.
Who he has to throw to?
You put him with Aaron Rodgers.
I know what you meant. It was just funny that you said it.
Or someone else. How much of Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill? How much is it Mahomes? It's like that. He's playing with Tyler Heineke. Do you know what I mean? He's not the best quarterback. Do you know what I mean? And I guarantee you, Terry McLaurin's going to get himself open most of the time, which he did in the end zone fantastically. Our offensive line's playing better than what it has done in a while, considering injuries as well. So we lost our centre, our backup centre in the game as well. And we've got players to come back as well.
Do the Panthers see Cam now as starter indefinitely, or
He starts with the rest of the season, but he's a bridge gap till the summer, isn't he?
so getting Darnold, is that's not like a mentorship thing, or in
No, Darnold's gone now.
Oh, is he? Oh, did he go?
So, like, no, he's not gone,
okay.
but he's
got a fractured
might as well
collarbone,
be-
I think, or something.
Right, okay.
he might as well have wrote him off. So, they obviously took Teddy last summer, and that was a sort of. I think what they're trying to do is they know. Well, they probably have passed up on a decent quarterback, but they've probably felt themselves that they're never going to be in position to get a top quarterback in the draft because the coach well. Plan is to be competitive. So they had a chance of getting Mac Jones, and the big thing in the summer was, would they get Mac Jones? And then they took Darnold. So I think their choice was, Darnold and Mac Jones are similar level. Darnold's still young. We'll take him. Teddy's older. He's average. Darnold's got a higher ceiling. And then Darnold's come, and that's failed. So now Cam's back while Darnold's injured. I don't think Darnold will ever start a game for them again. I think Darnold and the Panthers are finished.
Thing is, they took the 50-year option on him as well, so they're still paying him next year.
Yeah. So
he'll still be on the roster next year.
Or if
Still
they
be on
cut
the
him, he's
roster,
going to owe
yeah.
him money, which I don't think they will. Do you know what I mean? But it's a funny one. I mean, like you just said, Cam's got personality with regards whether they like him or they don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's going to be always going to be dangerous in short.
Well, as Cam
situations
said
as well.
himself about Mac, didn't he? When he got cut by the Patriots, he said the reason I got cut is because you can't have a Cam Newton in your locker room and be starting a rookie quarterback.
And I don't think he meant
I'm
that
a
in an
distraction.
ego way. I think he was just the honest
No,
assessment.
he said,
He can't have him.
I'm a leader of the team. Like I can't lead the team being a backup quarterback, and Mac will never lead the team while I'm there. And you saw that straight away when he came to the Panthers. Like he's the leader of that team straight away, and everyone come out and said it. Yeah. So like he was right in what he said. Probably a bit of self-awareness, really, but maybe it looks a bit arrogant because he's saying it.
Just a quick note. When we talk about strength of schedule, so our strength of schedule, we'd only played one of our division up until.
Yeah.
Obviously, so far.
Yeah.
We've played the likes of yourselves, we've played Chargers, we've played Green Bay, we've had a lot of tough fixtures. Had a few extra ones we should have got results in, so we're now 4-6.
Yeah.
We play Seattle on Monday Night Football, a week yesterday.
Yeah.
We then play Raiders after that.
Yeah.
Then we play Cowboys twice, Eagles twice, and Giants. So potentially it's still our old hands.
Still the Cowboys all day for me.
Cowboys, but they look suitless against yourselves, which you were going to more about.
We'll talk about that in a minute. So Tennessee 13, Texans 22. I didn't see much of this game besides from the stuff that was on Red Zone. So obviously wouldn't have been a lock because it wasn't a great scoring game. It just felt like the Titans had the same thing against the Jets. I think they just have these off days. Without Derek Henry, without Julio Jones on the field, it just throttle AJ Brown in it, and then see what you can do from there. Texans have been quite plucky all season. They've battled when they could, especially with Tyrod Taylor. He seems intent on trying to get himself a contract.
A few
next year.
interceptions in this game.
Yeah,
that's probably indicative of more. They're asking him to force the ball more, isn't it?
Well, that's it. It's not. One of the big things about the Titans' offense was there was always someone free because everyone's obsessed with Brown or Henry. Obviously, this year Brown, Jones, and Henry. And when there's only Brown there, like I say, bottle him. And then force Dan Hill to do something and it shows his weaknesses.
How long's Derrick Henry out for?
Well, it was 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, because you had the bet.
Yeah, which took him to week 16/17. So they reckon possibly the playoffs he's back, possibly week 16. If he comes back early, like Saquon Barkley tends to do, it'll be week 15 sort of thing.
It's going to bang the Christian Wade's drum here.
Is he even on the roster?
I think no. He had to
He's
be
not
on
the active roster, is he?
No, he had. So they cut him, and then because of the way
the Bills did.
Because of the way the European or like the
international
scheme works, it meant he was on the practice squad again this year. But I don't know if he made it.
Right, but I think they can. Yeah, I'm not sure they use him or not. There's something where he can be in the roster but not count against the roster, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing that this year. It'd be nice to see. Like my brother's a big supporter of him as well. He reckons if he gets his chance, he will look good because he was that good in rugby sort of thing. But
it's learning the playbook more than physicality.
It's the blocking and everything, isn't it? There's so much more that goes into it. Jags 10, 49ers 30. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah. The way it's a fucking that short. Yeah, I know. I've done it.
just so everyone knows what we're laughing at, is Marcus wrote the score in the middle for every single one, and then got to 49ers and wrote 10 to 49 against the 30s. So Jags 10, 49 30s.
That's going to know me now.
It's not really worth talking about, is it? Except the fact that the only question I'd say is, does anyone believe in the 49ers? I've written them off completely. Yeah. Is anyone getting back on the hype train a little bit?
No, but hype train, I am jumping on Deebo Samuel.
Oh,
is he the best, most versatile player in the league?
Yeah, he is.
He's not a trick player. He is generally fantastic as a running back and a receiver.
What I think is quite surprising is Cordell Patterson, getting loads of praise this season. And Deebo Samuel's doing the exact same thing.
But better.
Playing 3 positions, but better. Yeah. But I think the fact that Cordell Patterson's not done it before, and Deebo Samuel's at the 49ers, who've let everyone down this year because they felt they could be good, it's gone under the radar, and then now everyone's going, oh, fucking hell.
His carries aren't even jet sweeps. They're actual full-on, like,
running backs. He's a running back.
Yeah.
He's a running back. He's a wide receiver. And what do you think Cordell Patterson does? Oh, punt returns. He doesn't do returns, though, does he? I don't know if anyone's thought about this game. It was just the 49ers doing what the 49ers do well when they're strong, but it's doing it against the Jags. And last week done it against the Rams, which everyone was looking forward to. Now they've done it twice in the bounce. There's going to be talk of, are they back? Personally, I say no, but we'll see. Garoppolo, 3 good games on the bounce, though.
He's behind a good offensive line. He's got a good scheme and he's got weapons.
He's just another. Remember, like last year, not this summer. It was the summer before, where there was loads of talk of, actually, there's 32 decent starting quarterbacks. There's like, every team's got a quarterback that can compete. And then I think the problem is, when people say that, the average becomes that much higher. So maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we'd say Cousins was a good quarterback. Yeah. And now he's bang average, and Garoppolo's the same sort of thing. Like, their mediocrity speaks higher. Now you've got people like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and that in the league.
There's only a finite amount of elite quarterbacks, though, isn't it? And teams chase them for 10, 20 years.
But I think what we've got now is such quarterbacks that are such an athlete and do so much that when you have someone like a Baker, a Garoppolo, or Cousins, their mediocrity stands out more. Because when you look at them and then think of Dak, think of Josh Allen, think of Mahomes, think of Kyler Murray, they're worlds apart. They are worlds apart.
I think
that's one of the reasons why.
You just quoted obviously Josh Allen and Lamar, not so much Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't say Lamar, but I mean Lamar.
So like, if you're not the best pocket passer in the league like a Tom Brady, and you're not the most athletic quarterback, you can still pass a ball like Lamar or Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And you're just this average pocket passer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You haven't really got many physical skills to go with you. You know, you are always going to be up against it, aren't you?
Well, then you look at Mac Jones this year, and he's outshone every other rookie quarterback, and he's the least. So he's maybe the exception that proves the rule sort of thing in a little bit. But like, I just think what's going on in the topper end of the quarterbacks is what makes them look so bad.
Yeah, you want that. It's that individuality that like is sought after. Like, no disrespect to Garoppolo or Cousins, but it's almost like cookie cutter quarterback in the way.
Game winners. It's like people who win you the game on their own. Like Tom Brady's one of them without having any of them skills because of his brain, because of his consistency. Patrick Mahomes is there because of his arm, his ability to throw it on the run, to make them weird throws. Josh Allen's there because he can run it, he can throw it long. Like he's a bit like Cam 2.0. Lamar, he runs so well. You're like, what?
Exactly. Jimmy G is elite in one aspect, though.
He's gorgeous.
He's the most handsome.
Oh, he's a
QB.
dish, and he is.
He's stunning.
Do you know what I mean? As a man crush, he is the most handsome QB in the league.
Yeah.
Him and you're not playing anymore. Clay Matthews.
I don't know. I never saw it with Clay Matthews.
Did you see him in Pitch Perfect?
I like them pretty.
No, he's in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah,
the second one.
He's in Pitch Perfect too. Yeah,
with a few of the Green Bay players, but he's the one that stands out.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo though. He's pretty.
Yeah,
he's up there, like
good looking lad.
Jets 17, Miami 24.
Next, mate, do Philly, New Orleans.
Want to talk about this game now?
It's just.
Was you not happy that they stuck it in for so long? Was what, one touchdown in it?
Yeah, but.
Just the first time to threw it longer than 30 yards.
Just before you go on, so our mate in our group, Tony, who's usually where you sitting, where you're sitting, he put all those people who said Tua couldn't throw. So I thought Tua.
Have you seen the throw?
I thought
the throw was about 30 yards. The runner does the rest.
I thought he threw this like effortlessly, 60-yard ball, you know, in Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen does. His arm nearly come out of his fucking socket the way he's launching.
Yeah,
you
it
can
was
tell
wobbling
everything in it to launch it, you know what I mean?
There was a thing in the card break thing on Facebook about Tony
Yeah.
going up against someone.
Going up against Stokes. Stokes a Jeff fan like you.
Okay, there was a...
So it was the battle of the two owners of the car group.
After the... when Mike White broke the record for most yardage, and they put his jersey up, and I was like, that's the signifier there. That's like, it's going to go, yeah.
What do you achieve, though, by putting Joe Flacco in over Mike White at this point? You're not winning nothing.
Exactly.
I don't think they knew what they had in Mike White.
Yeah.
So they went and got Flacco before Mike White even started. Yeah, but they went and got Flacco before Mike White even started. And apparently they'd promised Flacco he'd start. Like the reason, because apparently Flacco was going to retire.
We'll let him retire.
So that's what I mean.
Exactly.
No, you know when he traded for him.
Yeah.
Apparently he was like, I'm not going there. I'm going to retire. And they've promised him, no, we'll start you. Come here, give us 2 weeks, and we'll start you. And that's what they've done. And so they've sort of had to.
We have like a track record of always doing that. Like Brett Favre.
Well, like I say, it's Einstein's theory of
who was the quarterback last year who was the third or fourth string, and he was living in Texas, but he was still on the...
No, it's not last year, it's this year.
Is it this year? Is it?
Yeah, it's not Colt McCoy, it's someone like that, though.
McKinnon?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Where he just basically, they give him $275,000, said stay at home, but if we need you, we'll call you.
Yeah.
It's just the madness of it, you know what
I mean? Philly 40, Saints 29, Saints with Trevor Siemian, starting quarterback. Philly, as we've said all year, they've got a strong offensive line, a strong defensive line. No Kamara, was there either?
No. So they're throwing to no one.
You feel
sorry for him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you follow...
do you have Callaway and that? Do
you follow Brian Baldinger on Twitter?
Yeah, he's very good.
When you're watching NFL, you tend to get drawn to like the skill players, don't you? Running backs and receivers and quarterbacks. So he always breaks down after the football the best of the offensive line action.
Yeah.
So he broke down on Twitter Jordan Malata, who was from the player pathway, actually, the international pathway.
Right. Yeah, he's the big, like, 7 foot.
Left tackle.
Yeah, left tackle.
6'8", he's 380 £380. So he's fucking massive. He played rugby.
Samoan, isn't he?
Yeah, he's of Samoan heritage. I think he's like from New Zealand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was just, you know, when you're blocking the player and the defensive player puts your hand on you, he just fucking moves and swats him off. And then there's a play where he nearly pancakes Marcus Davenport, who's a big defensive lineman. And Marcus Davenport ends up on his back on the floor. And Jordan Malata just stands up with him on the back, and he moves him like he's nothing. Like
he was one of them at the start of the season. Everyone was excited by his story, and then nothing really happened, because the Eagles weren't playing well. And then he obviously needed a few games to get going, sort of thing, like especially coming from the player pathway. And now he's got them games under his belt. He just looks unbelievable. Yeah, it's like Mekhi Becton. When you see Mekhi Becton for the Jets, when he gets a good run of games, he just looks a different entity altogether. Other than that, everyone's raving, saying Jalen Hurts look like an actual quarterback.
Again, we'll have a good offensive line, though, and they've discovered to run the ball.
We'll have to see when they've got a real competition. Now, by that I mean like a fully fit Saints. Saints are a great team, and the coach is great, and the fact that they've even been in this game says a lot about them. But at the same time, if you're going to beat the Saints at any time, you're going to play the Saints. That's when you want to play the Saints. Raiders 13, Bengals 32.
Not much of this game. Was this one of the later games we went on the Sunday?
Yeah, it was 9 o'clock, I think. This game started competitive. Took Joe Burrows a while to get into the game, and then once he got into the game, it was over then. Yeah. Not much to say about the Raiders, except they're gone downhill. I think you know what I found weird about it wasn't so much the head coach, John Gruden going. Yeah. It was the Ruggs thing that seemed to kill them off. Yeah. The Ruggs and what's the cornerback?
Arnett, was it?
Arnett.
Yeah. He's only got some for the
one who got cut. It seems to be since Gruden's gone, we've seen just how toxic that locker room kind of is, and that team's one. They seem to be like a team that's going to need to get blown up and start again.
Chance. They had how many picks in the top 10 at one point?
Yeah, they're just blowing it.
Yeah. I like Derek Carr as well.
Oh, why do you like the God Squad so much?
Is he a preacher?
Oh, he's the worst.
Oh, is he?
He's the worst out of the lot. Yeah. They reckon one of the reasons why he's never really made it anywhere, and why he's never had why he's never really been a leader, is because the players hate him, because apparently he's always trying to convert people and stuff in the locker room.
In the city of sin.
With that squad as well, given what's going on, he probably needs him.
Where was he? Where's he been? You need fucking...
Do you think Raiders at a cautionary tale of, if you're going to tank, it's not always the grass. So
I don't think the Raiders ever planned on tanking though, did they? They just
got
sort of
Khalil
happened.
Mack and they acquired all these picks.
I think the cautionary tale's the Browns and the Dolphins, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Especially the Browns don't do anything with it.
It's not guaranteed success, is it, if you do it?
Trying to think who else has clearly tanked. I find mad this year. I think the Lions are well better team than the Texans, and the Lions are going to be number 1 pick. Like
the more competitive.
100%.
Yeah, but the Texans have won 2 games now, and the Lions, I think that's enough to make sure they're not number 1 pick. KC 19, Cowboys 9. So Chiefs started brilliant. Offense looked brilliant. Chiefs defense has been what's got them through this season for most of the season, while the offense has been poor. I think people are coming to realise that now. Defense again was good. Again, not the last game, because obviously we scored 5 touchdowns, and I was talking about how we'll have to see against the Cowboys whether they're really back or not. The Raiders one was, and I said we'll see against the Cowboys whether we're really back or not. I'm starting to believe we're really back, except very much like the game before the Cowboys, when I think it was the Raiders. So whoever we played last week, no, it was the Raiders last week.
Raiders last week.
Game before, whatever it was, we had the boss first drive. I remember I said in the podcast, first drive looked brilliant, and then we just sort of stopped.
Yeah.
This is Green Bay. This was similar. First drive, brilliant. Then Dallas made some changes on the defense, and we just sort of reverted back to the things that, like, forcing things for some reason. Mistakes kept coming back. Mistakes were coming back, and it meant Dallas stayed in the game longer than they had to, because we could have put 40 on these. Like, we were playing that well, like, defensively, and we had the ball enough, but we just sort of pushed it too much. So what I'm trying to say is the Chiefs are going to be good. Chiefs are going to finish the season out. I think they'll win every game now. They got play the Broncos twice, the Raiders, the Steelers, the Chargers, and 5 games left. No,
There's what week going into week 12, so what? There's 5 games left.
So no, the Chiefs are on the bye this week. So they played 7-4 now. Played 11 games. So they got 6 games left. Raiders twice, Broncos twice, Raiders, Chargers. There's 4, Steelers, and someone else not in our division. I forgot who it is now, but whoever it was, we'll beat them. So I think the Chiefs win out.
Just on the
but hopefully, if they win out and they get the offense going properly, they got a good chance. Just to mention about Dallas, you said, we'll talk about Dallas, and I feel sorry for Dallas a little bit here. Just because Chiefs' defense was great. Zeke got injured first quarter. CD Lamb went out with concussion. So it meant they only had Gallup first.
Cooper was out anyway.
Cooper went out before the game with COVID. So he only really had his first choice receiver was Gallup. That was it.
Third choice receiver.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That was his only starting receiver on the team. So they were trying to make plays with, I can't think of his name, Wilson. Yeah, couldn't really get going. Once he had gone, Pollard wasn't the same threat, because Pollard had to become number 1 running back then. Was taking carries that he wouldn't have carried, sort of thing. So I think Dallas will bounce back from this when they're fit. Micah Parsons is unbelievable.
He flits from linebacker to edge rusher, doesn't he?
And he's boss at both. Like the way he gets around people at edge rusher, you wonder why they don't play him there all the time, because a bit like the way Jamal Adams is a safety and then is great at rushing the passer. Micah Parsons was their biggest threat, rushing Mahomes, and he was unbelievable at it.
Do you remember you saw the Kansas City defense?
Yeah.
So we've seen a quote somewhere on Twitter that said, a great defense now in the NFL is not something that'll be there all season. It's something that carries you through the period of the season where your offense is not firing. So the Kansas City clearly has had problems on offense for the past few weeks, but the defense has been good enough to keep it in games or win games. Yeah. So
defense has won us our last 4 games, besides maybe the Raiders.
So moving obviously Chris Jones back into the interior.
He was unbelievable as well.
Yeah. Who would have thought? We're one of the best defensive tackles in the league.
Moving him back inside and making him. But the only reason, you say that'd be a good decision. The only reason he's able to perform that well is because we've got Melvin Ingram from the Steelers. So having him and Frank Clark fit meant Chris Jones had more space inside. Because what was happening was teams were doubling Frank Clark, who also was injured, and then if Chris Jones wasn't defensive tackle, they'd double him, and they go, well, we know you haven't really got a pass rusher coming from down the middle. So
after Aaron Donald, he is the highest most pressured. He's the
gets the most pressure on a QB.
Yeah, on a QB for the
he's brilliant. He's
defensive line.
He's absolutely brilliant. I think the thing is, because he was so good, they thought they could push him out to defensive edge and he'd keep that sort of level
even
of
batting balls
productivity.
down, weren't he, at one point for the interception by Snead?
All the time. He's incredible. Snead, another one. Snead is fantastic. You asked last week, has Snead not played as well? And I said, yeah, you're just having notes. And then this game, he was unbelievable. So Chiefs have got a good chance. Chiefs are, they're not back, but they've got a chance to be back. Yeah. They have got a chance to be. Did you want to say something, James? I don't know. You're trying
to. I don't like Dallas. Fuck them. The shit.
Fair enough.
Sorry, no. Well, they're not shit.
What, you don't have to apologise. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Dallas this year because Michael Parsons talked to us. So
is he another one?
No, we spoke about the start of the season.
My bad, sorry.
Start of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Because he gave us the time of day. I'm Team Dallas this year.
Yeah. So if they don't make the playoffs, you can still play Connect 4 with them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not like it's not dependent on how successful they are.
Yeah.
It's just that because he has talked to us and give us the time of day and stuff. I've got a soft spot for them now.
We might be too big for him by the time he comes over at the moment.
We need some more
a few wins where we
we had a couple of big clips the last couple of weeks, and they've both been fucking us moaning about kids or something like that. Like Darth and Lombardi. That's what we've been calling ourselves. Seahawks 13, Cardinals 23. Wilson is what?
The two-way athlete derby.
The two-way athlete derby?
Yeah, because Kyler Murray could have played
baseball.
And I hope Russell Wilson.
Kyler Murray was out. Wilson does like to mention it as well.
I hope he plays baseball for the foreseeable future, Russell Wilson. I just get under my skin.
You like how can you like Cousins and Derek Carr, but then not like Wilson?
Because there's something about Wilson that just the ego thing is so subtle but obvious with him. Like,
I don't understand how he's such an oxymoron. He's the most boring beige person ever, but then he calls himself Mr. Unlimited. Isn't that such
Unlimited?
How can you be dull as dishwasher, but call yourself Mr. Unlimited?
It's just fucking
like the story someone told me about. End of season, Brady always gives his offensive lineman Rolexes, you know what I mean? Fucking top of the.
I told you this.
He gives them shares in companies. It
was so every time a quarterback signed a new contract, one of the things is they give the offensive line a present to say thank yous of like you contributed to this. I know I'm the highest paid player in the team. You contributed to that. Thanks to this. So like, I think when Mahomes done it, I don't think it was Rolexes. I think Mahomes might have got them all Rolexes. Brady gets them something. Brady takes them out for dinner every week and stuff like that as well, like throughout the season. Russell Wilson bought all his linesmen shares in different companies, and then wrote them a patronising letter about looking after the finances and making sure
fuck off,
making sure they're secure for the future and stuff like that.
Just reconfirm what you already think.
That's the high end voucher. That's the look. I didn't know what to get you.
Yeah.
So what I got you was.
Well, I've got you security.
Is that the Virgin vouchers? Is it?
Fucking
but I've been like 30 different places.
Yeah.
They're valued in hobbycraft.
Yeah.
Never gonna go. I can't stand them at all.
Love to shop vouchers.
It's such a shame that Pete Carroll's gonna go.
Yeah, because it's gonna be his team then.
Before him.
But as a quarterback, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
so
he is brilliant when he's doing shit like that. But again, it's come back too fast, and for all his brilliance, I also think he's a shithouse. Goes down too easy, holds onto the ball too long, and then calls him to a little ball. I think it'd be interesting because I know you're saying it looks like Carroll's going to go. I think because of his age, it probably will be Carroll. I think if Carroll was 10 years younger, it wouldn't surprise me to see the Seahawks trade Russell Wilson.
To blow it up and start again.
Not even to blow it up, but to get enough capital to go and get somebody else. Or like trade them and sign. Like, imagine Seahawks trading Wilson and then getting Rodgers. Like, even though Rodgers is a prick as well. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like they could get 3 number ones for Wilson and then get Rodgers as a free agent.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. Like,
and doesn't call himself Mr. Unlimited.
No. But
you've got to say it in the way he says it.
Unlimited.
Makes me so scale up when he's here.
Even when I do it, it makes me cringe. Chargers 31, Steelers 37. You're going to come up with way this game saying Chargers have fought well. Chargers still great, putting 41 points on the Steelers. But the fact they let the Steelers back in this game, and it made you think Chargers are going to charge
Justin
it all
Herbert
over again.
Over 400 yards total offense.
Yeah.
90 on the ground and 300 something in
the But when Steelers got back to 37, was it 34 or 37? Party of 40. It must have been 34. Party of 4. Chargers are going to charge it. And there's there's still a stink on that team. And they're still they've lost some games. And they had the AFC West. They had Chiefs were 3 games back, and they've blown that. And Party thinks they've got such a team, and Justin Herbert, you just don't blow it. But there's something about that franchise.
Austin Eckler's fantastic.
Spursy.
Yeah, they are Spursy. Proper Spursy. They should have stayed in San Diego, but that's a story for another time.
I think every team should stay where they're based.
All in English. That's what we. Bucks 30. Giants 10. I haven't seen this.
No, I've not seen any.
Well, no point talking about Debbie Jackson. What happened is exactly what we thought would happen. Little fantasy update then. We have got our Listener League, which is, if you don't know, James, is where our listeners come and challenge us at fantasy football. And if they beat us, the lowest Lombardi buys them a jersey, buys the winner a jersey.
Oh, that's nice.
Unless it was agreed. The problem is Mark's the lowest Lombardi, so now he's arguing that was never agreed.
I've won this week.
So, standings currently. Well, actually, let's do the matchups currently. Let's do matchups. Week 11. Let's see the results. I lost. Gutted. I got 100 points. Team name to be determined. Sheehan, who now moves up to second, got 166. Whitewashed me. Dak Prescott let me down big time in fantasy this week. Let's see what else. Mark, you said you won.
That's it.
Let's see. We got winning for Wes, who is 7th, 153. Got beat by Top, who's Eskimo Brothers. Steve, 167. EFC Denver, 6th. Lost to Tom, who got 200. He got 171 points. Tom got 235. I'd hate to see who Tom's team is, but I know I've also messed with the scoring, so it's probably not that impressive. And you beat Tony, 176 to 158.
Right, so he left out Cup.
He doesn't do his team, does he?
No, but Cup was forecast for 20 odd points, so it would have been close between us, even with Cup.
Right, fair enough. That's the Listener League then. Let's see the Charity League that we're in against other podcasts. I haven't even checked. I don't even know if I've done my team for this one. I thought I don't think I was doing very well, so I've sort of given up. Spat me dummy out.
Not like you, that, Rob.
Yeah, well, we lost anyway. Got 138 points. He got 215. So he absolutely smashed us. Team shy. Fuck it. So that lost. So that was that's our fancy update for this week. Let's have a look at the games for next week then. It's James's second time to bet. And you don't gamble, do you, James? This could be.
No, I messaged you about that one.
Yeah, did you put it on?
No, I pussied out in the end.
What was the bet?
Last time he was on, we picked a little treble.
Yeah.
And I think he come in.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I woke up in the morning and was like, I think for the amount of money I was going to put on it, which my girlfriend said was worrying, it would have been like.
Which is worrying? What? How much?
I think it was like 15 quid.
That's worrying, is it?
And it was like a 350 quid return.
Yeah.
Or something.
It was basically like it was when the Chiefs played the Titans.
Yeah.
So we were picking out 3 games.
It was three teams to win. Just on
It was 3 teams to win, but we weren't picking out 3 guarantees. It was 3 teams that we thought the odds were far too high.
Right.
So like the Chiefs were favourites by like 7 points against the Titans. And I'd said the Chiefs aren't. It was while the Chiefs were shit.
Yeah.
And they weren't playing well. I said back to Titans. So because you can get +7, get even money, or you can probably get 3-1 for them to win. Back to Titans to win. The Titans obviously smashed them. So that was one of them. And then there was 2 other teams which like
Colts and then Panthers Giants.
Right, sound. So we were like they were all too close. They all should never have been even money. So that would have been a because you never put it on. That would have been a gateway. That might make it worse now. The fact that you could have 350.
I know. Now I'm going to be like.
That was like the smoking weed of bets. That
yeah.
By the end of the season, you'd be on heroin of bets.
Ray Winston's.
Yeah, well, at the end of the season, you'll be making bets with me, James, and that's when you know
Oh no, God,
you've got a problem.
No.
Because
And you're scary as well. You'd be on the door first thing in the morning. Where's my fucking money, Jay?
Super Bowl,
you've got some
all
Super
bets are
Bowl,
paid
mate.
out Super Bowl.
Stephen French.
That's our rule. It's a workhorse. All bets are paid out Super Bowl. That's our pod rule.
Okay. That's good.
It's not because you're not paying the bet up. It feels like future money,
Yeah.
and you know
And
it
it
doesn't really
comes-
concern you.
The week's coming up to it.
So
It gets
yeah.
closer and closer
So
and
you're like,
closer.
so you're thinking, oh, I'll win that back, so I'll make another bet to win that back,
No.
and then you're like, because you're never having to pay it out, you feel like you're never having to pay it out, so you're constantly betting, and then like that gap between the championship game and the Super Bowl. Oh, that's a hard 2 weeks. It's a hard 2 weeks. Right, first game, Thanksgiving Thursday. I love Thanksgiving Thursday. Get home
That's
from
why
work.
Tony's on here, because he's going to Manchester.
He's going to Manchester on Thursday, yeah. Right, Lions, Bears. The handicap's 3 to the Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
Dalton starting. I think I'm going with Tony. Tony's backed the Lions the last 3 weeks because they're due a win, and they've been close last.
Tony's a habitual gambler.
So-
Murphy's Law, yeah.
Tony's very much they have to win at some point. So this is what Tony does is he just constantly bets and increases the stake until eventually it happens and then goes, I told you. So
I'd be dead.
yeah, I'm going Lions.
I'll go Bears.
Cowboys, Raiders.
Cowboys all day.
7.5 handicap. I wouldn't take the handicap, but I'd go
I think
Cowboys.
they cover it easy.
I don't, because I'm not sure who's back and who isn't.
It's a short week, innit?
They're hoping Lamb's back, but they're only hoping. They haven't said what's going on with Zeke, but he finished the game, but he's clearly injured.
So it is a short week, but I still fancy Cowboys all day, on even covering the bet.
Yeah.
I'd take the Cowboys, but I wouldn't take the handicap. And last Thanksgiving game, Saints, Bills. Bills are only 5.5 point favourite.
I fancy Bills just purely.
Kamara back or not?
No, it's still banged up.
Is he? The Bills all day. Take the handicap as well. Moving on to Sunday, Bengals Steelers. Bengals are 4.5 point favourite.
Bengals. Steelers are looking shocking at the moment. They're missing Fitzpatrick as well from the safety from the secondary.
I don't know how much to trust the Bengals, to be honest. I'd stay clear of this game. What are you, James?
I think Bengals, yeah. Wouldn't bother.
Oh, here's a game. Texans v Jets, and the Texans are 2.5 points favourite.
Get those odds switch round, mate. Jets.
You're saying Jets?
Yeah, take the Tony philosophy there. Dual win.
It's your win.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
Both same records, innit? Both 2-8.
Yeah, I'll go Jets, just because. No, I won't. I'm going Texans.
Okay, all right.
But normally, what I do in games like this, I go with the quarterback that I trust the most. I actually trust Tyrod Taylor more than I trust.
Both
Joe
of these
Flacco.
teams
I think Tyrod Taylor's got more desire to win the game.
beat the Titans this season, which
Yeah.
is just
It's
ridiculous
Good
in
stat,
itself.
that, yeah.
The Titan Bowl.
Yeah.
Me and Phil Chapman.
Colts v Bucks. Oh, Colts for me.
I think Bucks are a get right game for this one.
I'm going to say Colts, but within a field goal.
Yeah, well, you get plus 2.5 on the handicap. I'd say that. Plus 2.5 shit, because it's not even a field
Bucks'
goal, is it?
run defense is fantastic, though. They have been for a couple of seasons. Their run defense, haven't they?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Jonathan
So it's going to be a
Taylor's
case of
it's going to be.
it's on Wednesday.
Yeah,
I believe. Jags Falcons, and the Falcons are only a 1 point favourite. I can understand why. Jags for me.
Falcons. They've still got more weapons.
Got that. Oh, is it Kyle Pitts? Yeah.
Dolphins Panthers. The Panthers are 1.5 points favourite. Dolphins can't stop the run,
Yeah.
and the Panthers are coming with C-Mac and Cam.
The Panthers.
I'm going
I mean,
Panthers.
he stopped Ravens, didn't he, a couple of weeks ago?
The Dolphins.
After Tony
Yeah, the
saying,
Ravens haven't ran the ball all season. I'm going Panthers.
If
I just got a sneaky feel for the Dolphins in this one.
Fair
reckon
enough.
two is going to put all his efforts into a 15-yard throw.
He's going to wind it up and go for
Put his
25.
arm on charge.
Yeah. Patriots Titans. Patriots are 6 points favourites.
Patriots.
Sweet. Giants, Eagles.
Eagles
are 3.5 points favourites. I think I wouldn't argue with that. Broncos, Chargers. Chargers are only 3 points favourites.
Chargers to cover as well.
Chargers to cover as well. I think it's underestimating how bad the Broncos have been. Problem with the Broncos, they always had one of them games like they had against the Cowboys, where now and again they just turn up.
And then
They've
the
got some
Eagles
star
go on the
players.
season after, the week after.
Yeah, if they let Pittsburgh back in the way they do again with.
Yeah, there's no games this week that stick out for me as being like
nailed on,
or even the bookies got that dead wrong. Packers Rams.
This is like game.
Packers are
fantastic game. That
9:25.
Is it at Los Angeles?
It's a late game for you because you go to bed at like 9, don't you?
Yeah, fucking up early most mornings.
You're not up early on a Monday, do you? You stay up on a Monday, no?
I still get up. I have to get up at 6 on a Monday.
Yeah. Packers Rams. 1.5 points.
Is that the student life? Is it? Is that
no, I'm 24. That's how I work. But
I'll work, sir. I'm going Rams over the Packers. You know, the Packers are the favourites. It's in Green Bay. I think that's why Packers are favourites.
Yeah.
The weather's going to play a big part in this.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Fuck it, go on. I'll go Packers. I'll change it around.
Nah, I'll go Rams.
Shout out my bubbins.
49ers Vikings.
I'm going to go Vikings.
49ers.
I will go Vikings. I just got no belief in the 49ers whatsoever. Ravens Browns. Lamar's back. I'm going Ravens. Ravens are 4 points favourite.
Same.
Washington Seahawks and Washington.
We will cover it.
A 1.5 point favourite.
We'll cover
Your
that.
favourites.
Yeah.
You're gonna win by more than 1.5 points. Yeah. I fancy Washington as well.
Yeah.
Same.
Sweet boys. Well, that was week 11. Look forward to week 12. Thank you very much.
One more thing.
Jumping on. Go on.
Won't speak with you.
What have I done?
You've inadvertently cost me 115 quid.
Yes. Ow.
So, Rob, did a week. His little lad got christened.
Yeah.
So, I had my daughter for the weekend because Mrs. away. So, I had to bring my daughter with me. So, she's pulling her face, so I have to go all this type of stuff. Can you take me for the Chinese afterwards? So I said, yeah, go on, then we'll go to the all you can eat. I ate Chinese, I ate all you can eat Chinese.
Yeah.
But she wants to go there. Went straight from the christening. 40 quid for the shitty Chinese, straight from the bat, was not best pleased.
Yeah.
Yesterday, my weekend had just finished well, because Monday's my way, so it's the end of my weekend. Get an email off my car company, me lease hire. Weird part of the car, didn't realise there's ANPR cameras. I was stung for a 60 quid parking fine. And then £15 fucking admin fee for them emailing me the fucking fine. And I'm like, fucking fuming about this now, because I only went there because I took Holly to the christening.
Well, so that's not my fault. That is your fault for weak parenting and not just telling Holly to get fucked. Right. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Ta-ra.